Hey guys, it's the Creative Duelist here, and I've been making decks creative since 2016. Welcome folks, today I'm here with my Nekroz deck profile. This is an update. Since the Ghost from the Past came out, there was a lot of archetypes that got a lot of support, so I figured I'd update some of my old builds and do a profile. Also, I do apologize for the weird noise. I think that's coming from some electronic from the next room. I can't shut it off, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it and go over my card choices and all that good stuff. So starting off with the Muzzle lineup, of course, we got the triple Nekroz of Brionac. Brionac's effect is pretty self-explanatory. You discard it from hand, search for any Nekroz card from your deck to your hand, and he also has he can also bounce back 2 special summon monsters from the extra deck when he's on the field. That effect comes up sometimes, especially against link monsters, so it's pretty good. So it gives you some versatility. The triple Unicorn just pretty much is really good against like any extra deck monsters. Just shuts off their effects. It's a skill drain in the flesh, and you can also discard him from hand and grab any Nekroz card from your graveyard to your hand. Really good. So it's a warrior turning alive. Then double Trishula. Trishula is to protect your Nekroz monsters from being targeted, and he also has pretty much Trishula's effect. The only drawback, he's like a watered down version of the Synchro Monster Trishula. Your opponent needs to have those targets to banish, so if your opponent has no cards in hand and they have a monster in grave and field, the effect won't resolve, you can't use it. They need to have those specific targets, whereas Trishula, the Synchro Monster, doesn't care, just banishes it regardless. So just keep that in mind. Then double Valkyrus. Valkyrus is there for really good, especially for draw power, so you can tribute Nekroz monsters and draw 2 cards. And it's also like a battle fader as well, so you can discard it and then stop your opponent. And then double Colossus. Colossus is pretty much your it's pretty much your kind of like a Manju, but you pitch it from hand and you search for any Nekroz spell and trap. Sorry, just the spell. I think it searches traps. Does it search? Yeah, it searches Nekroz spells and traps, which is pretty good. But typically you will normally search for the ritual spells, and it also has a effect just like the Synchro version of itself, where you can target one special summon monster from the extra deck and makes attack 0. It's pretty good. And then for the rest, I play the newest, the Nekroz. I can't pronounce its name, I do apologize. I didn't take the time to read it enough. But anyway, so its effect's pretty good. So you can pitch it from hand, tribute up to 2 Nekroz monsters from hand or field, and if you do, you get to send that many Nekroz cards from your deck to graveyard. Comes in handy sometimes, especially if you want to like use a Nekroz cycle to like bring out a Nekroz from grave, which is pretty good. But typically, I like its negation effect, where you negate something your opponent activates, especially a monster effect. You tribute 1 monster from your hand or field, negate it, and then you just banish the card. Pretty good. So nice interaction right there. I do play the 1 Decisive Armor. You don't have to play this, but I do like playing Decisive Armor to batter over my opponent's monsters. And then I do play the 1 Gungnir. Gungnir just comes in handy. It's really good. Just good protection, and Gungnir is always nice to play at 1. And that's going to round up the Nekroz ritual monsters. And for the last ritual monster we play is the incantation. I think it's the Chalice Slime. Chalice Slime just helps to bring out your incantation monsters from the deck. Pretty good. So that's going to round up the ritual monsters. Okay, onto the effect monsters. We play the triple Saborg. Saborg, you target a monster, blow it up. If you destroy a light monster, he gets an effect where you get to look at your opponent's extra deck, and both you players send 8 monsters from your extra deck. And if you blew up a light monster, you get to choose what your opponent sends, which is really good. It just cripples any kind of like combo decks or decks that really need extra deck or fusion decks or anything of that nature, any link decks. So it just crumbles their plays. This works really well because you just dump your whole extra deck in the grave and you get their effects that way. Then triple Vanity's Ruler. Basically, your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Your opponent can't special summon monsters. You're probably scratching your heads thinking, how am I going to summon these and doesn't it conflict with like Nekroz? No, it does not. Nekroz, pretty fine. Playing these because we play the incantation monsters, so we can just use those for tributes. Plus, we don't special summon from our extra deck, so it's not a problem. And Ruler hurts our opponent more than anything. It doesn't hurt us at all. It's specifically geared against our opponent, which is pretty good. And then for the rest of the effect monsters, double Shrit, pretty standard when it's tributed. You get to search for any Warrior, Nekroz, Ritual monster from your deck. Then we got the double Manju for the search. I cut Manju down to 2 because, again, we play a lot of normal summon monsters, so we don't want to like waste our normal summons too much. So especially if we got the incantations and we got Mega Monarch, we don't want to conflict. Then we got the incantations, the double Talismandra, double Candle, 1 Bookstone, and 1 Pencilloom, or Pessiliplume, however you want to pronounce it. So these are just there just to help you get your Nekroz stuff, revive it, search for your Nekroz cards, pretty much. And of course, they're tribute fodder, so we can just get off our Mega Monarch pretty easily. Or depending on the context or the circumstances of our plays, we will summon the Vanity's Ruler to shut our opponent down, especially once we've made a godlike field. And that's going to round up the monster lineup, folks. Okay, onto the spells. You got to play triple Preparation of Rites just to help us search. We typically search for Brionac, and it's also a bonus if we got a Nekroz spell engraved, so we can just add back the ritual, which is pretty good. Then I play the double Mirror, double Kaleidoscope. I felt like playing 3, but these are recurable, especially for Unicorn's effect, so it's not a problem. Kaleidoscope is just there to help us, dump off an extra deck monster and summon multiple Nekroz ritual monsters from hand. Really good. And then Cycle is literally, you can basically Monster Reborn back a Nekroz ritual monster by sending, tribute fodder to the grave, which is pretty good. And then 1 reinforcement to search for the Shrit or the Colossus, or I think it's called Colossus, or you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just really good to search for those monsters. And then 1 Call by the Grave. I wish Call by the Grave was at 3. Having it at 1 is so silly, especially since hand traps are just so prevalent. But we do play the 1 Call by the Grave, because if we get ashed, it hurts really bad. But yeah, that's going to round up the main deck. Onto the extra deck real quick. So I play 1 Shooting Star for these are just the kaleidoscope targets. 1 Trishula, the Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier. 1 Shooting Star Dragon. 1 Trishula, that's just there if we want to summon off, easily get our summons off for the Trishula itself. 1 Crystal Wing. 1 Winged Pegasus, really good, because then it deals with certain cards. You can just bounce, shuffle it back into the deck. Really good to play. 1 Brionac. I couldn't think of anything else to play because of the lack of options that I had. Certain cards I am missing, so I've had to kind of improvise. So this is just, you don't have to play this. Just something I felt like just throwing in. Triple Herald of Arclight. You got to play 3 of this. Real good. Especially if you get off the Mega Monarch effect, because you just dump it and get you plus so hard when you get the Mega Monarch effect. 1 Martial Metal Marcher, again, just a level 3 target. Double Totally Awesome, please play 3. I've only got 2, but if you have the 3rd copy, please play the 3rd copy, because it's such a massive plus when you dump off for Mega Monarch. And then I do play the triple Elder Entity Knits. Really good, especially if your opponent makes you go 2nd, because then if you do get the Mega Monarch effect off, you dump this, you dump that, and you dump these. So that's like 8 monsters right there. So you get to pop whatever threats they have in the field, and you get searches. So it's so good. And that's going to run up the whole main deck. extra deck, and the hub profile. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. Comment down below. Feedback is always nice to hear. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. Also, if you are not aware, I do have a 900 subscriber giveaway. If you guys would like to join, just check out the video. All the instructions on how to enter will be in that video. But yes, guys, Creative Duelist signing out. Peace.